Hey mamas, how are y'all doing today? I hope everyone is doing well. I am on my way into the office drinking a leftover energy drink. Anyway, I wanted to get on this video because, you know, when I have thoughts about things, I do get on here and share them. And I was thinking about a conversation I was having with a gentleman who, which I'm not gonna reveal his identity because I don't want him to feel a kind of way. But he made a statement to me and said, you're doing everything backwards. And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, if you want to retire early, then you need to find someone that will retire you, meaning like a man meets someone, I guess, get married, and he retire you early. And I thought, what kind of statement is that to tell a woman? What kind of statement is that to say that you're doing things backwards? Because I work hard, I take care of my daughter, I'm a busy person. I'm trying to learn new things, like I've been learning trading, and I'm interested in learning more about real estate because I can't day trade because I'm in the office at the time people would day trade. So yes, I could probably set up like an option, a call or a put option, and set my tolerance limits and those kind of things and my stop losses or whatever you call it, and you know, go. But I'm the kind of person, I also want to watch and see how the stock price is moving. And I can't do that while driving into the office. I can't do that while I'm at work. So I thought, well, maybe I want to make extra money some kind of way. And if I can't do that, maybe I can, okay, that was awkward. That is a police officer and I'm waving at him. So if I can't make money through day trading because I'm always in the office, maybe I can make money. Can y'all even see me anymore? Okay, just bear with me. That was a police officer, and I'm smiling and waving, but I really need to put the phone down. And he so politely smiled and waved back. But anyway, maybe I can look into other ways to make additional income. Part of it is YouTube, but of course YouTube is not completely passive. You have to continue to make content to get views, to get watch time, to get monetized, to make money off of your content. So it's not passive income. I call it actively passive because you're still doing something to generate income, even though you're not getting paid by the hour. You're getting, you know, paid by the amount of time someone is viewing your content. So anyway, well, what's some other things that I can invest in? Well, one of the books I really like is Millionaire Next Door. And I've read that book more than once. Read and listened to the audio more than once. And one of the things that it talked about is investing in real estate. And so I thought, well, you know, let me look into this and see what are my options, because real estate investment can be lucrative, but the initial cost to break into that industry could be high if you're trying to purchase a home. And I'm like, you know, that's not really something I want to do. But then I hear, well, there are other investors that will put money into your investment. That way you're not having to get a loan for the entire investment from a bank or wherever. And I thought, well, you know, that could be a really good idea. But then there's also other things where you can rent out properties from people that own a property. You rent it and then you lease it out as an Airbnb. And I thought, well, that might be great too. And so I considered, I might consider doing something like that. But regardless of what I do or how I implement the process of generating extra income, I just thought it was really interesting that this person told me I'm doing things backwards, because what I should be doing is not being so busy looking into bettering myself, bettering my skills, generating additional income for me and my kid or my household. I should be more focused on finding a man that can do those things for me. And I want to say to all of the single moms out there that the ones that are working really hard to provide for you and your offspring, do not get in the mindset that you need to be more focused on looking for a man to pay your bills, retire you early, take care of you and your kids. Is it wonderful to have a husband that you can build with and support each other and help each other through these things? Absolutely. But should you feel a kind of way because you're focused on your education and your career and your skills instead of being focused on finding a man to do everything for you? No, you should not feel bad about being focused on doing it for yourself. I will never stop striving to improve myself, whether that be improve my health, my fitness, my finances, my skills, my career, my parenting skills. Maybe even self-care, improving how I show myself love. I will never stop trying to improve myself. And I will never in my life solely depend on another human being to do it all for me while I put myself on the back burner and focus on someone doing it for me. Never will I do that. There's nothing wrong, and it's a beautiful thing because I've witnessed this myself. There's nothing wrong with being married and your husband's working and he's retired you early, because my dad retired my mom early. Or your husband's working and you are a stay-at-home mom and you're not working at a job, but you're focused on the children, the household. My grandmother did that. But there's also something to be said about a woman who can do it for herself and doesn't sit around waiting on a man to do it. My Nana did that. She owned her own home, owned her own vehicle, took care of her kids as a divorced single mom. And even when she lived to be, I think, 94, she still left her children valuable property that she had paid off, that she left them in a will. She left her children with no burden to pay for her burial and her funeral because she handled all that. And she was just a housekeeper. And I don't want to say just, there's nothing wrong with that. There are housekeepers that are millionaires, okay? But my point is that she was working for someone else, working a labor-intensive job, physical labor-intensive job, and she did it for herself. So why be made to feel like you're going backwards because you're doing it for yourself? You're not going backwards. As a matter of fact, you're going forward and you're going in the right direction. So moms, do not let anyone make you feel, especially single moms, that because you're working hard to provide for you and your children, and you're not working just as hard to look for a man to take care of you, that you're doing it backwards. And it's so crazy to me, because if you were working hard to look for a man to take care of you and neglecting the things that you need to do for yourself or what you need to do for your kids, you'd be called a gold digger. You'd be called a terrible mother because you're not focused on your kids. It's like, which one do you want, Quasimodo? Which one do you want? You know, it's like, you darned if you do, you darned if you don't. And that just really irritates me, because I think women get single moms, we get judged so much. Either we're too focused on our kids and we don't prioritize other people, or we're not focused on our kids enough. Either we're going out and we're having a good time and you need to be at home with your children, or you don't have a social life, you're not going out enough. The mom guilt sets in because you know you've got to work to provide. But at the same time, you also want to be involved in your children's life, so you put them in activities that they love and enjoy. My daughter's in Girl Scouts. She's also in the Gifted and Talented program at her school. And then, of course, she has play dates with her friends. Because you want to be an involved parent. Because you know during the week you're not as involved because you're working. Well, I'm involved. When I get home, it's mommy-daughter time. We're doing homework. We're studying for quizzes and tests. We're having dinner, bath time, bedtime. And then if I have to pick work back up after she goes to bed, fine. But that's just what it is. And I am not going to be made to feel bad because my focus is on bettering myself, improving my finances, and being an ever-present mother. I'm not going to feel bad for that I'm not out here trying to look for a man to marry me, to take care of me. I'm not going to feel bad for that. I did have a meeting with my financial advisor. And yes, I do have a financial advisor. I also have multiple financial advisors. I have,
in 2 miles,
I think it's good to have multiple financial advisors. Now, only one financial advisor helps me manage my investments, like she physically manages them for me. The other financial advisor works at the company where my retirement, most of my company retirement is located. And so she advises me on things specifically for those funds at that investment banking institution. And then the financial advisor that manages my funds, physically manages them, she advises me on an overall perspective of my finances, okay? Mainly with retirement. And I'm grateful to God. I had just had a conversation with my financial advisor, and I told her, I was like, I really would like to day trade. I've learned how to do it, but I'm not practicing that skill as much as I want to. Sorry for the background noise. I said, I'm not practicing that skill as much as I would like to, because I'm at the office, which I want to be at the office. I want to interact with the customers that I work with. It's a form of job security, and it's just good to be there so that you can lay eyes on the people you're working with. You can quickly get questions answered. You can quickly answer questions, provide solutions quicker. But by being at the office during the week, I can't day trade. Like, I could probably do a little something on my phone, but if I'm in a meeting, you can't do that. I want something that I can consistently do without it, getting into the time I'm spending at work and things like that. So I said, I also want to learn real estate and investments. I mean, I own my own home, but it's not an investment property. I mean, yeah, it kind of is in the long term if I choose to sell it or lease it out, but right now it's just where I live. And I was saying, maybe I should wait on those things until one day when I get remarried, discuss it with my husband, and we can figure out a way to go about me doing this. And she said, Tiffany, she said, she's married. She was a single mom for, several years, I think more than 9-10 years or so. And so she understands what it is being a single mom, and she understands what it is being a married mom. And she's said, Tiffany, she's older than me. She said, you do not need to be married to do the things that you want to do. I was like, yeah, but I can't day trade. She says, no, you can't day trade. She says, but you can make investments, like where you invest in certain stocks and ETFs and different things, and hold it there as your money increases. She says, you can make investments. She says, and you can certainly do real estate even while you're at work. You can do real estate investments, and you don't need a husband to do that.
Right, and then exit 47C.
She says sometimes in marriage it kind of slows you down because the husband makes the final decision, and you discuss things, and he's the leader of the household. So sometimes in marriage that might even slow you down, even though you think it might speed you up to do the things you want to do. And she said, but you're capable, and your financial situation, you're capable to do everything that you're trying to do. And she explained to me, your child is young, so obviously you want to keep your stable job and with benefits and things like that, but you can still do some of the things that you want to do on your own. And I thank God for that conversation, because I had that conversation with her Friday of last week. And the person that said that to me this week. And I'm so glad I had that conversation with her, because it gave me the confidence to know that the person that made that statement to me was out of pocket and out of line and didn't know what he was talking about. And it's just God is good, because God will place something in you because he knows that something is coming that might discourage you. So he places something in you to handle that. And thank God for my financial advisor, and that I had met with her, and that I know better. Because when you know better, you do better. And I thank God that I know better. But I just want to say to the single mothers, do not feel discouraged. Do not feel like you're doing the wrong thing by not focusing your time on looking for a husband. Know that as you better your skills, you better your education, you do the things you need to do for you and your children, you are doing the right thing. And when it is time, we are not ladies in waiting. We're not going to sit around and wait on anyone. And when it is time, God will send the right person in your life that you can partner with and have a beautiful union with, that's not going to be focused on taking money and doing terrible things with it, and you can't even save or invest. He's going to send you the right person that has a solid mindset on managing finances properly, so that the two of you can partner and build an empire together. God will send you that. But until he does, focus on building your own empire. The Bible doesn't say you can do all things through being married. The Bible says you can do all things through Christ. Get that in your spirit. Let that sit deep down in your soul. And know that, believe that. God will send people in your path to give you nuggets, on, hey, that might be a really good investment. You look into it, you research it, and you're like, oh, wow, I didn't know about this type of thing. This is a good investment, and you invest in it. God will send people to share that with you. So stay encouraged. Do not let anyone make you feel discouraged. And know that God's got you. Just like you got your kids, God's got you. And I love you to life. I want you to have the most amazing day, because I plan to. And I will see you in my next video.